think I am finally up and running. Twitch, Streamlabs has been very, very shitty today. Pardon my language. Like, insanely bad. Very, very shitty today. Pardon my language. And I think something's been going on with my computer and the power supply, so I might have to just simply replace it soon, which is not good because it's one less thing I can really afford to do. And I think something's been going on with my computer and the power supply, so I might have to just simply replace it soon. And you were just probably getting a weird echo effect because I had the mic on and the audio on without headphones. All right, so we should be good. All right. I'm gonna give myself a little finger guns so I can see it in the stream and see how long that takes. That's looking like it's gonna take. All right, good 10, 11 second lag. That's awesome. Something is weird is going on with my computer because I'm looking at the GPU usage and it's just through the roof. Something to do with video, I think. But we have QoDE Hunt, Code Hunt, however it's pronounced, up, and I managed to use the information that we got from the folks who actually put this on to be able to figure out how to actually set this up so that it will unlock properly. Good morning, Alchemist. Good morning, Aquila. So essentially, right now we've got 5 puzzles unlocked. We've got 5 puzzles solved, and once we solve 4 more puzzles, we'll unlock the meta. At that point, we will take a look at the meta just to see if we can sort of shortcut it, so to speak. But I think what we've been doing so long has been working. So I say we just continue on, and we just keep doing puzzle by puzzle. So catalog will be next. The tea room. Disposable cups are strewn about the floor, but of more interest are rolls of blank blotter paper, a cracked mortar and pestle set, and what might have been a French press. Microdosing is pretty popular these days in some circles. You choose not to dwell on it. On a folding chair, you spy a plastic baggie holding a filled mesh tea strainer and some pages of newsprint, and then the puzzle begins below the line. Please don't lick. These are my special leaves that I chew on when I need to solve word puzzles. So that's going to be cat. This is a puzzle that involves cat, I think. Because cat is also the type of special leaves that you can chew on. So I'm going to pull this up in another window so that we have that available. Let's take a look at the actual puzzle here. We've got a number of different copycats. Drop cat, oh, that's kind of cool. Cat scan. Cat calls. Category 4. Short surcat. Catharsis. Oh, that's looking lovely. No copy 2 this time around. All right, so let's start with this first. It looks like this is going to be a series of mini puzzles. So we'll just we'll go here. We'll do a little puzzle sheet catalog. Because I usually don't do. I'm going to go ahead and share this in the chat. And then I think I might need to turn on sharing for anybody with a copy of the link. Can edit. And then if anybody wants to help, they can help. All right, so I don't need that. Let's see, copycats, dropcat. What were all of them? Cat scan, cat calls, category 4, and short surcat. And from the looks of it, we've got 6 items down here. So this will just simply be related to the answers, I think. So let's go back up here. Copycat. So I think this one, we're just going to see what we can get as far as words go. Hey there, Omicron. All right, we got a lot of them. We've got slow gin, keg beer, and so on. Let's see. Let's try this next one. That is a number of items. So, I mean, it's halt and catch fire. Which makes me wonder if that is... I mean, these look like regular clues in addition to everything else. So let's start copycat down here. And maybe just try the clues first. So beer or gin is an alcohol. Blank and Catch Fire television series is halt. Chess or poker nobleman is a jack. Or king, no, king. Grace and Frankie actor Martin is going to be Sheen. Halo of solar eclipse is penumbra. I don't know if that's a shadow. That's not quite right. Halo of solar eclipse. The Corona. That's my bad. Late Likud politician Menachem is Begin. Six-limbed ant dweller is ant. Sing awkwardly. That I'm not too sure about. So what I'm wondering is, what do we do with this now? So if I throw this in, for example, I mean, I'm going to get a number of different things. I'm going to get a bunch of 6. Am I looking for a thing that is also an ant? Late Likud. That's not that helpful. Essentially what this one is it's going to be... Oh, that's almost... It's halt. We can get halt out of it. Okay. I think I see what's going on here. We're gonna use each of these to get the answer to another one. So if I do this one, is Corona in here? Corona is not in here. It's gonna give me a 6 of something though. Let's try Halo. There we go. There's alcohol. Grace and Frankie Martin. There's the ant. I feel like I should just be able to do this just by looking at it. This is going to be Corona. This is going to be... I mean, we don't have much left, so maybe Sheen? That's Sheen. And then beer or... What do we have left? We have King. And I think this is King. Because it has to be a 1-letter change from sing and have one of the letters of awkwardly in it. I still don't know what that actual word is for sing awkwardly. What have we not gotten over here? We've got halt. We don't have begin yet. That's where this is going to come in. And so then we're looking at this one. This is the one that has our sing awkwardly. If anybody sees it, just feel free to shout it out. Warble. How about warble? Do we like that? Jangler likes it too. And I think the answer is going to be backwash. So if we start at begin and just work backwards, we get begin, alcohol, Corona, King, warble, ant, Sheen, halt. That's going to be backwash. That's our 8. Looking back at Catharsis, I'm just going to copy this up at the top of here so that we have it available. There we go. So we're going to want the W, and that's going to give us the 6th letter. Although honestly, I could see that being answer for the large X's, and then we have to figure out something else like, you know, can something else go in for the W aside from backslash? Oh, actually, I think that's it. I think if we do this, like we type it in like that, essentially anything that's uppercase gets treated as, yeah, backlash is the other one, backslash is also possible. So I think that's what's going to happen here. We want one letter changes. All right, so let's take a look at the next one, drop cat. We've got this lovely little thing, which is just, what are we doing with this? I guess we have to try to copy it somehow. So I'm gonna move this down here to my other window. Come on, you can do it. There you go. And then what I can do is I can go in here and do drop cat. And actually, let's do that out here. Okay, star tilde AF HQ. Let's just type it along each row. That's probably going to be easier. Then we'll shorten all these rows and all these columns. It's okay. There we go. Tilde RX /6M close. Okay. I don't necessarily want that. Stop doing that. We didn't expose anything there. Let's make all this courier new, and we'll make it bigger too. I can imagine that's kind of small. And then we need some colons. If anybody is commenting in the chat, I apologize that I'm not able to see it at the moment. I want this to be all ordered. One thing I've found when I'm watching other streams is that it does drive me a little nuts when somebody spends so much long on formatting. So I apologize, because I know that is... Alright, so just so that we know what all the symbols are, we have the asterisk, which is essentially... Let's also go ahead and just make this bigger, because we can do it that way too. That is any number of characters. That is something that's usually done at the beginning of a word to indicate that you need a one-letter change. That is any vowel. That is any single character. We've got some brackets in here at various spots. Those will probably go together, but that also indicates... that's like it's like a weird thing where you have to basically get something where it's true and not true or something like that. Colon is usually right before length. So you can have 6 colon. And I'm not sure how that's going to combine with here. This is an anagram. That is, I forget what a dash is. That is a consonant, and then again, any number of characters. Romacron, this is all based on the website Quinoa Plus, or CAT, which is a popular website for people like me to use. All right, so the question is, what do we do? And the single letters are single letters. That's pretty much all we have to go from. Oh, and there were some numbers in some of the cells. So let me just do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 is this. 9 is here. 8 is here. 7 is here. 6 is here. 5 is here. 4 is here. 3 is here. 2 is here. And 1 is here. All right, so now we've got all this in. I want to say this is going to be the quick brown fox jumps over. Like, it feels very pangrammatic. Looking at it this way, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog would work. Minus is also, minus indicates length. That's usually what that's used for. So, like, you can say A equals 6 like that. That's actually not what I want. Or something like that. Or you can do it at the beginning. And you can do it at the front. So I think this, for example, indicates that it is 6 or less. So minus 6, not necessarily. I don't think that they necessarily do the same word. Like, if I went here and I said, the quick brown fox, this should work. Yeah, see, that's just gonna give us that. So it's the and symbol that you have to worry about. If it were, the quick and like that, then it wouldn't work. So one of these has to, I think, start -6 colon, whether it's here or here. I'm going to quickly look up what all right. Find all words of ace followed by a word, and then that is a reversed word. Okay. So if we wanted to do the quick brown, let's say that were it. Like, let's say we were doing the quick brown fox. We would do semicolon to match what we've got, like that. That would give us the quick as a possibility. Brown here would be a word followed by an N, I think. This would be /JMP colon, so that wouldn't work. So that would have to be A. Yep. Good morning, Gasper. We are currently on catalog. That's where we started. I got a late start today because I had to go see a doctor about veins ablation. That's fun. All right. This, I kind of want this to be like an anagram of over, but that's not going to quite work, is it? I want that. That's going to be A. That A, that's good because the A matches the two thes. Yeah, this is going to be a single letter change from H, Z, Y. Let's see. Tilde is. Oh God, what is tilde? I should know that one. I do that all the time. Oh, it's reversal. That's right. It's a reversal. I'm sorry. That makes perfect sense. That is a reversal of over. F. Oh, there we go. That's clever. F. There we go. What that is it's a word that starts with F, but then is a two-letter word, and it's also a reverse of a reverse of a word plus X. So, like, if you did this together, you should get a fox. And then that's going to leave dash 6 colon reversal. And that should work. So then this is, we're looking for a 6-letter word that is P plus a 5-letter word, and it's a single letter, any number of letters, a vowel, I, and then any number of letters. So what is, we could just throw this in. I think that would be fine, but I kind of want to see if we can figure this out ourselves. So the first letter has to be P. It's going to be P. Jangler, I'm sorry your name keeps popping up. It's that @ sign that I just don't know what to do with. So it has to look like that. And I think the tough part, I want plaids maybe? Jangler's got it. I probably should just throw this in. Oh, come on. Plains, plaids. I really should be able to get this one. I am embarrassed that I'm not able to get this. All right, I'm going to throw this into the... I'm going to throw this whole thing into cat and see what it comes up with. Praise! There we go. Praise. All right. So that is one more section of this. Praise, which will go in the first one. So that does give us A, which is not surprising because I think that we figured out that this was going to give us basically the X's are going to represent the word answer. This one, I think the only thing that I can think of is either or M. If you replace the A, I think there's another letter you can throw in there. Praise, precise. I mean, that's a lot. So we'll figure out what we might be able to do there. That's a little disconcerting. But what I am going to do is comment out these. All right, let's go to the next one. CAT scan. So we're going to do this. We're going to keep working this direction, I think, because it's a lot easier to do like new column widths. I think that's correct. All right, so let's look at this. We also need to get some additional rows in here, so let's do this. Insert 8 rows to the right, and then we're going to make each of them really, really wide so we get some extra space in here. So my mouse is not cooperating. There we go. No, I don't want to turn on sticky keys. Thank you. All right, so antique is probably going to go up here. I'm going to do 2 copies of the grid, I think. Sort of a base one down there just in case. But this does look like it's going to be TI, U, and E, which means this is going to be TI, TI, TI. Hopefully I got all of them. And then we'll shade that in. Gasper, I really enjoy this idea for a puzzle. I think this is a good one. Antique, cesium, noon, novices, ozone, parsec, pontiff, secret, timid, and utility. Utility is probably this one. Yeah, there we go. That's utility. I'm going to put little YTI in here. Pontiff. There we go. Z is going to be O, N. And we got Pontiff right here. I forget if the 1 can be used as a wild card, so I'm just going to leave it like that. Place each of the Z's though. We've got novices, which I think is going to include this down here. So I think the one thing that I'm a little worried about is that the ON in Pontiff appears to be ON, whereas I feel like I need it to be like in the other direction for some of the rest of this. Oh, and then there's an ON here. So ozone works. Do that as a blue. Make sure that I got all the colors right here. Cesium. So this is going to be CE something. No, tilde was... This symbol was backwards. And we wanted novices. So X is SEC. I think that means that what we're looking for is the word section. Because novices will end up being this. We have to include that as well, because that's the reversal. Come on. And then cesium. And then this will be secret. And then what do we got left? We got parsec, which will be one of these ones that ends with X. I just haven't bothered putting it in yet. There we go. Answer. Start to see that. So I think that's supposed to be noon. I'm just not quite seeing it. Like, I feel like that doesn't quite work. So maybe I'm just not reading that one right. Timid. Not worried about the colors at this point. I think it's just a matter of getting them highlighted. Fair enough. Answer to this, I think, is supposed to be XYZ. Answer to this section is section. That's very clever. So that's going to be section, and that means that we are getting the S in here. And of course, we all know what 7-letter word ends with E-C-T-I-O-N. That is not section, and that is erection. Cat calls. Okay. All right, what do we got here? Let's just pull this one back up. And figure out what we got going on here. So we've got kernel, which does have a homophone of kernel. We've got men and knee, and I think that's going to end up being many. Phone, vein. That one I'm not too sure about. And I have no idea what that area of... I think that's aroma. Because I think that's Rome is the highlight. So that's going to give us an A. And then finally we've got scale. That doesn't really have a... we need reverse. So lakes. So I think the entire answer is canal. I'm just not sure what that middle one is. First one's colonel, as in the military rank, because it's a homophone of colonel. Next one starts with the sound of men, and ends with the sound of knee, so it's many. Fourth one is a single letter sound, plus something that sounds like Rome, plus that same single letter sound for aroma. And then that one, last one is reversal of scale, which gives lakes. I do not know what that middle one is. I want it to be a single letter change from both phone and vein. So fein or vone. Either way, it feels like it's going to have an N at the end of it. Does that make sense, or am I just sort of like crazy pants here? Fein would work. Okay, yeah, that would work. I can buy that. I probably would have asked that there be another tilde over, little tilde over here then, because this makes it seem like this applies to just this, and maybe I'm just wrong about how cat works on that. But canal works, and that does give us an N in the middle, and we have a cabal is possible for the other letter. That's the same tactical quirk. Okay. That's what I thought it might be. I figured if it's still there now, then it might be just me not being bright. So this is interesting. I'm going to make this ER. And then I think this one I'm going to put in OM. I have no idea what's actually going to happen here, because we've got some weird stuff going on with the X's. The X's almost feel like they have to be the same, like they should be the same, except we know that they're going to end up being different letters. We know it's going to be ANSWER. So theoretically, it shouldn't be like we shouldn't have to worry about that. I think we just simply have to find some combination of letters and bigrams or whatever that will make a phrase once we finish this off. But let's go to cat 4 for now. All right, so we got cat 4. Let's go ahead and copy this out even further. Oops. That's not going to work. There we go. Okay, so this one looks like freshman, which means that we're probably dealing with some yeah, because that's going to be junior. So let's do this. And then that means that B is NIOR. Hello, Dragon Engineer. Let's try that again, but with the correct case. There we go. Senior should be in here somewhere, as well as sophomore. The problem with that is that I don't understand why that would be then noir or noir. I think the only word that fits here is schwa, which doesn't really fit as far as a class goes. This looks like it wants to be January. That I'm not too sure about. That could be like Denmark. A's tend to get really kind of funky. Oh yeah, there we go. If this is freshman, then this is senior over here because the A is ES or SE. There we go. And then that does leave sophomore, which I think is going to end up being down here. And that gives us an R. Now the question is, do the letters, are they consistent from category to category or do they change? Because I really want this one to be January over here, but I don't think that that's going to work. I'm out of coffee. Whatever am I going to do? I'm completely out of Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Oh wait, I bought 2 of them because I'm that much of an addict. Like this over here. Let's first this doesn't have to be schwa because that A doesn't have to be the letter A. That could be anything. It is going to start with 4 straight consonants though, and that is a difficult thing to do. And that A should go, and then this has got to be something here. These I think are the what's it the DNA things. Right? Sorry, I'm bouncing around screens here. It's like cytosine, I think it is. Yeah, it's like one of the DNA components, which I have no idea what the other ones are. Adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. There we go. Django's already put it in the chat. If I had just been looking, I would have gotten it already. I would have seen that. All right, so if that's the case, then guanine has to be this one. Let's do this as aqua. And that's an anagram of Mark and then ein. That's not going to work. Thymine, I think, will work here. Because I think Y is technically considered a consonant to it in this. So that is going to leave adenine and E. All right. Doing all right so far. This, I kind of want this to be black so we can do the colors. Black, yellow. Oh, Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde. That's what that is. So this is Clyde over here. I'm guessing acre is the answer. but I kind of want to figure out this last one too. Let's see. So the B, that's got to be George, right? George, Kramer, Jerry, and Elaine. There we go. Seinfeld. And that's that one. That is not surprisingly the R, and that could be either H or N. So not necessarily a single possibility for the letter. All right, Short Sir Cat is the last one. This one's probably going to require a little bit of... Yeah, this is going to be difficult. So let me open up Paint. A little bit smaller. All right, so tools. Size, we want really thick, and we want white. I think we want to widen this out just so I have access to the tools a little bit more easily. All right, so 2, 3, 3, so it has actually been quite some time since I've done a slither link, believe it or not. We'll do these in red. So I know, for example, like this has to go here, this has to go here. This can go here or here, but it can't go the other set. So no matter what, this will go here, and this will go here. There is nothing in here, so we'll just do this. There's also nothing here or here, so there has to be nothing there because it's cut out all of them. Then this. This cannot go over here because there's only one, so this is going to come down. In addition, this can't now go up here, so this will go over here. This will cut around like this. This will go this way or this way, one of the two. Not sure exactly which way yet. Morning, Marky V. We're watching to see if I still have any chops left in terms of solving slither links after all these years. Because it really has been since... I used to do them all the time when Nikolai had its site up. But unfortunately with it down, I'm just no longer used to actually doing them. That'll go there. This has to come down like this. This like this. This will form a connection there. And then this, I'm not too sure if this is going to go... Correct me if I'm wrong, that could go either way, couldn't it? Did I make a mistake here? I feel like I must have made a mistake because that could go in either direction. Yeah, because technically I could, what I could do now is just simply close it all off like that, and that would work fine. Morning, Hologro. Or I could go down like this and then like this. So I think there's three ambiguities here. There's one here. What we'll do is we'll do two colored lines here. So that's one possibility. And then this is another. No, I'm not trying to actually... You're the ones that made it so I had to use right click for the other color. And then we can have that. I'm just going to switch out the colors. And I saw what happened. Yeah, this should... Nope. Stupid paint. There we go. All right, so technically there are two solutions here. Well, actually, there's 8 solutions possible, because I don't think any of those are distinguishable from one another. Like, there's nothing really that makes any of those any more correct than the others. So we're going to look at this. We've got A, B, C, B, D. What is this going on here? That, I mean, feels like it's got to be like a single word that you could get from that. But I feel like I'm going to break cat if I put it in there. Oh, expected something else at the end of the sub pattern. Interesting. Does it though? We have a star. Which sort of indicates what it is that we have to start off with. There's 12 characters in here. There's 10 characters overall. 10 uppercase letters. And then there's 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 18. 18 characters overall here. With a minimum of 13. And like if we treat these as either or, it's a minimum of 13 and a maximum of 15. Which doesn't really feel like it fits this, because this is 25 by 25. We have a possibility of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have a possibility that there's 10 extra, like 10 empty spaces on the outside. Maybe that's part of it. We also know that we're looking for a 3-letter word with E in the middle. So that should help. Sorry, just my wife texted for a moment. Doing my Wednesday stream late. Okay, so what are we doing here? Can we just simply say we don't need this one? Just try to figure it out from the other 5. total of 25 spaces. 10 might be on the outside. 15 might be in the middle. That was one of the numbers I said that were possible. Well, what would that mean? So like we'd go AA. Let's make this a little bit smaller so we can see the text with it. There we go. So we go AA, B, C, B, D, E, like either ED or F. I think in this case it would have to be F. ED, sorry. D, D, F, H, H. And that just doesn't feel like it's making any sense whatsoever. So, and then I or AJ, one of the two. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? So 16 would be the maximum, I think, actually. If I remember right, the what does the not sign mean? I forget what the not sign. Sorry, the exclamation point. It's like this weird thing. It's like not. There are 10 numbers given to us. It's maybe this is just all like it's not actually meant to be a short slither link. True. So if we were to fill in the remaining numbers here, this would be 1 or 2. This would be 1, 3, 1. I don't know. There's something about that I don't like. Like, what would the point of that be? I mean, honestly, what's the point of even doing the slither link, especially if it's not unique? Akila, I'm curious as to your idea. I'm going to go ahead and do a green, I think, for this set so I don't forget that that was ambiguous. 25, 5 by 5 square could also be just simply the letters of the alphabet. It's like, in a Playfair cipher, you'd have A, B, C, D, E, and so on. Yeah. That's entirely possible because it does feel like. Oh, you are absolutely correct on that. And that's going to give us the three. Oh, Akila, you're absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. That's why we have these ambiguities here, is because this indicates that when you get to here, you're either going E, D, or F, and here you're going either D or reverse of G. And then this over here is going to be the start of it, which is going to be simply a letter to the right. So I think what I need to do is I need to get a pencil out. So that is going to be an A. Then that's an A. And the question is, what are some of these larger ones? Because we know that this is either going to be we have got a B, and B could be any number of things. The reason I think that this is A here is because the ambiguity has to go along with at least one other move, whereas the I stands on its own. So I will be like that. We don't have I anywhere else in this. We do know that this one down here, we're going to make this a little bit bigger. This one down here will be, let's make this out like that. We'll do red. Big, so J if it's up like that, and I if it's up like that, that's going to form the last letter. And then E, we know that this is E, D, or F, so one of these two is F. Assumedly, if they're not all the same, which I think that was right, whoever said that, means that must be F. And then this is ED. Does that work? Because I don't think that works down here. I think C is going to be this two-line sequence. B is going to be the entire three-line sequence here and here. And then when we come out of here, we've got D in reverse F. And D, I'm thinking, is just simply going to be that symbol. Yeah, that's D. That's D right here. That's D. This is F because they're going in opposite directions. Reverse F is I, essentially. That's E. That's still D. This is reverse J. This is reverse F. And then H should be two lines at once. Oh, there is a D there. Sorry, I missed that. So that'll be D there. And then C will be the entire thing. And then B will just be that. Okay. So H will be two lines straight up, which I'm going to do slightly over here because I need space for the F. F is going to come down like this. G was down, left, up. Down, left, up. So I think we want to go... I do not know how that one's going to go. DCE should be this. Then this, which is our A, which is our E, which is what we were expecting. B is going to be like this. J was up. I was up. So that's going to be a T. What's going on with this H? H is 2 lines straight up. F is like that. I think what I'm struggling with is trying to figure out how to interpret that G. I think it's just simply the instructions in reverse. So with G, we went down, left, up. So instead we're going to go up, left, down. And then for E, we're just simply going to go down. So that's an M. So there we go, met. Thank you for that, Aquila. And that, of course, has a number of different possibilities. So we've got the M and the R. All right, let's figure this out. So backwash, if we did it all lowercase but capitalize the W, we're going to get, in addition to backwash, we're going to get backlash and backslash.
From your calendar,
let's do this in the correct order too.
Magazine starts in 10 minutes.
Yeah, not today. Late start today.
From your calendar, P&A Magazine starts in 10 minutes.
Okay, let's do this in order. And we're either going to get L or SL. Canal is a little bit more difficult. We're definitely going to get a B as a possibility. But I think also an RN. Yeah, there's like a ton. So B is possible. We could also go US. I kind of like the idea of doing a US because that's going to give us a vowel to follow either L or SL. I'm not going to worry about some of the other, like there's just too many of them to really worry about. What I'm wondering is whether or not there can be like exactly one, or if there can be like a really good... Morning, Ben Zimmer. You can do multiple searches, but the problem here is that I don't think X is necessarily the same thing. And unless there are... Yeah, no shit. So, sorry, but we figured out that the capital letters here will spell out answer. But the problem is that you can't really do an and in the middle of the... Like, there's no and in the middle of these. So just semicolons separate just means that they're separate searches. So if I were to do this, if I were to do, say, backwash, canal, and so on, you'd end up with 6 different search strings. And because none of the letters in answer are the same, there's nothing really tying the two of them. Like if I just did this, it would just go nuts in terms of the actual... Like you'd have the 3 different possibilities for backwash, but then you'd have like hundreds of possibilities for canal and like a bunch of possibilities for... I see what you're saying. All right, we'll try it like that. That might make sense. Yeah, I didn't realize that that was what Dragon Engineer was saying. I thought he was just pointing out that... All right, so let's try this. Backwash, M, see how long this one takes. Having done a lot of these types of searches, I'm always really reticent to throw something in that thing I think might break cat. This feels to me like the thing that could break cat. That's also presuming answer is like a single thing as opposed to a clue. But it's good. It's a reasonable assumption. Yeah, out of time. Search terminated early. Not surprisingly, we got answer. Let's try just PDL. See if that works. See if it works better with a smaller search. We get embellished that way. So I'm willing to try it. Answer was embellish, all right. So yeah, throwing the answer tag on worked. What is please don't? Oh yeah. That might have helped cut down on some of the other ones. Morning, Zamaj. All right. So embellish, and that's going to unlock another one. Or at least it should. Why is that not working? Because that is not actually doing the count A. There we go. Ain't by numbers. Let's go ahead and give that the correct title. And we'll start the next one. What is TAS? The gallery. This is another of the many vacated loading bays the building sported, now long emptied of anything mundane or legal. Now it's home to a vast array of oversized props and set pieces from various capers. By turns silly and disturbing, the giant novelties all cast strange shadows in the ambient light of an idle control panel. What did the Riddler need with a silk screening setup? Maybe this was how he made all the uniforms for his hired help. And then we've got a bunch of things to cut out. I am thinking that I want to skip this one. I'm a little concerned it's a little too arts and crafty for the stream. I'm kind of intrigued by it, but I think it's going to be a little, yeah. No offense to whoever wrote that one. We've got some options here at this point. The Parlor, some senior citizen's large print telephone, sits on a table by a ground floor window, both wires from it conspicuously disappearing over the windowsill, and the original buttons obscured by custom decals. You pick up the receiver and hear nothing. Down the alley, you can see where the power and phone lines lie sliced. The other ends run into a neighboring building. Figures. When it comes to keypads, there are pressing matters and there are very pressing matters. And then we have a bunch of images in the shape of a telephone keypad. All right, so let's go ahead and pull up a sheet for this one. What was this one called again? Speed dial. All right, let's go through and try to see who we can get first. So I have no idea about any of these. That's David Lynch. Those are vowels. But vowels in a bush. Blue wings. That is some sort of computer language. Yeah, that's the one that becomes Nine Tails, right? So Vulpixand. That's a red wine and some golf clubs. And who is that? All right. Let's do some searching. Search image with Google Lens. Let's first of all start with here. We want to no, we want to. There we go. Perfect. Good morning, Lord Kimbode. I really enjoyed Catalog, whoever put that one together. I think Gasper already said. Yeah, that was the Mystery Science Theater show, the one where they did Ega. Yeah, that still struck me as such a weird coincidence that you and I ended up sitting next to each other. Vicky Ford, okay. So that's interesting. Vicky Ford and Vulpix and feel like they have a lot of letters in common. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write Vicky Ford up here. And I'm going to write Vulpix and down here. Great show. I kind of wish I had a chance to go see the last one. That's Strangely. Which is also 9 letters. This is a Rutger Hauer movie. I'm going to go ahead and do Blue Wings for the middle one because I feel like that is going to be exactly what that one is. Blind Fury, okay. These also feel like they are exactly doable using each key once. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if we did each key once, we'd have one extra one. Maybe, because there's only 8 numbers there, but we've got A, B, C, D, E, F. So for that upper left one, that would be the one that's doubled, I think. We've got GHI, that's got one. JKL, that's got one. MNO, that's got one. PRS, TUV, WX. Okay, so yeah. So I think that's what's going to happen here is that we're going to get exactly one key that's been repeated. So 2, for example, at the very top. No, 3 at the very top. I'm just going to put in the DEF key because otherwise I'm going to forget. DEF here. Strangely is going to be the STR key. Blue Wings is going to be ABC, DEF, GHI, GHI. Vulpix and is going to be JKL, MNO, PQR. It's TV. And I'm wondering if each of these will also give, like, it'll be the one that's not used. So, for example, this one doesn't use the E. This one doesn't use the E. This is PRS. That's not going to use the P. That doesn't use the T. That doesn't use the H. So traditionally, Q and Z have not been on phone pads. It's just in recent years they finally added Q and Z to the PRS and the WXY key. So it is one of those things that's a little iffy. So that's got to be a Lynch drum, I think. That'll be ABC, DEF, GHI, JKL, MNO. With O being extra. I saw that was Unix. is who? Jane Swift, which if I still lived in Massachusetts, I'd probably be able to more easily recognize. But that is going to be D. D, E, F there. This is wine clubs. Does that work? It does, and that's going to be ABC with an extra A. I think my feeling is that the extra letter here that's not used, that's not going to matter, but I could be completely wrong. Let's see, we've got vowels over here. What is that going to be? It's vowel something. What's not used by vowels? ABC, GHI, TV. So it's ABC and GHI plus one other key. And how about the Unix one? What does the Unix one? That almost looks like Unix mouth. Oh, look at that. We've got them all over the place. I think we want to go ahead and close this. I don't think we're going to get anything else out of the Google Lens search. So, Unix or Linux? If it's Linux, oh, I like that. I like Valbush. That works better. And that's TUV, and that's another T. Oh, actually, this does look like it might be something throated. That works. Thank you for that. That's going to give us that. So maybe if we do these in order. I kind of want this to be deep throat because that's supposed to be a P. And that makes sense because that is the 0. So if we read it starting with that, then deep throat is going to be the answer. Who is someone that you'd want to have on speed dial when you need like Watergate stuff? Yeah, all right, cool. Thank you for the help on the last two. I don't think I would have gotten those, or at least would have like beaten around the bush, and I wouldn't have known what to speak. So you know that's a very nice puzzle, by the way. I think it's really it really says a lot that you were able to get some pretty good clues. Like things like Vulpix and should be fairly difficult to clue, but that just clearly clues it. Like that's Vulpix and like that's clearly what that is. That's clearly Lynch drum. Some nice finds there with Blind Fury, Vicky Ford, Jane Swift, and Strangely. So and Blue Wings too. All right. Enough of that. Let's go to the Dark Knights Patrol. The game room. Nigma's collection must be massive. The dust outlines in here suggest whatever shells were here went wall to wall and up to the ceiling. A few boxes have been left behind. There's some weird box named Zubo something that's been forcibly bound shut with tape. Thanks, guys. I'm hoping that's what that's a reference to. But waiting on an overturned milk crate is a plastic baggie with a note and some index cards tucked inside. Dark Knight's Patrol. I hate how he always picks my men out of the crowd, leaping around in the heat of battle. Just know this, there's a rhythm to his combat. He deals with the serious foes every 5 attacks. And then we've got some... We've got Earthquake Shelter, Financial Newspaper, Government Branch Office, Courier Service, Baptist Church, Acting School, and Debating Society. We've got cars and... I don't know what this is in reference to, though. I feel like this is a night puzzle. Like we have to... do something with the jumping, but I'm not... And some of it seems like fairly straightforward. Like you want to jump from here to here. That'll take out 1. Then you'd have to jump to here. Then I guess outside and back in. Financial paper would be Wall Street Journal, Earthquake. I'm not sure what... I feel like each of these people should be something that I should be able to figure out. And maybe that would go into the spaces here. Earthquake, SHELTER. So that actually works. Earthquake Shelter fits in there. Acting School. Acting School fits in there. Baptist Church fits in there. So let's open up the spreadsheet link first of all. I don't know if I'm going to do this one or not. Again, I'm a little worried that it might be a little bit too difficult. I need to make a copy of this, I think. Copy to existing spreadsheet. Recent. Okay. All right. So let's first of all make the assumption that each of these are going to be the squares are the phrases. So this is going to give us a T here for the question mark. This is going to give us a T there for the question mark. This is going to give us an O, E, R. I can do things. A, N, C, I. And that's an E. So that to me doesn't feel like it's overly helpful. Let's see. It could be that the Batmobile or the police car is where I have to end up. So maybe I'm doing a night's tour through each of these with the idea that I'm ending up at this. In which case maybe the 2 bad guys are, or the 3 bad guys are always the same characters. Let's take another look at the flavor text here. He deals with the very serious foes every 5 attacks. Okay, that helps. So if that's the case, then this is an N. Like these are NO in some order. Let's try this one at least. So my first move would be here. That would be the A. this. First attack ends me on white. Fifth attack would end me on white as well. So this is going to be the fifth attack. And then this will be... So it's got to be like that. And the reason is that because the knight changes color each time. It goes from white to black, and then white to black, then to white to black, and white to black, and so on. So for me to get from here to here means that if this is white, then I started on black, and this would be white as well. And on the fifth attack, I would end up on white. So that should be right. I think that should be correct. Feel free to tell me just how freaking wrong I am. By the same token, this should be a T. And this should... Nope, that should be an I, sorry. Then STCH and then U. And I think if we're going to end up trying to get to the card, that has to be an H. So then the question is, what is this? I want that to be the H an H as well, the first H. Sorry. That is going to be an even number. I know that much. This... I think this has to be the... Wait, is this right? Did I just completely screw it up? Okay, no. This has to connect to two others, and there's only two other spaces. So this has to be connected to the question mark and the O, which means this is either C or L. And if it were L, I'd have to jump to the car, which we can't, so this is a C. Then this will be H. This will be O. This is probably like O here, L here. Then C, T, I, N, G, S, C. That should work. All right, cool. Marky V, is that what you got? All right, this I over here. This only has two things that it connects to, so this is going to be TS and TS. This can't be... This TS here is really restricted. It's going to go here, here. Yeah, that's it. So this is A or... let's see. It's either P or T. I think we can go B, A, P, T, I, S. I think R and C. let's try this a little bit more intelligently. Sorry, I know this is mostly me staring. This can't go straight to... I think I messed up here. We know this can only go from here, 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 or here. So one of these is going to be the C. And I don't think it can be this. I don't think it can be this one because R still has to connect to it from the U, and that's not going to work. So it's going to be R, C, and then that's going to be H, which works well for the second letter if the first letter is C. Then how does the rest of this work? This is going to be... We still need a Baptist church. So C, T, S, I, T, P, A, B. There we go. Baptist church. All right, courier service. So this is the only one that can go from here is E. We know that the fifth letter is an I. And so it'll be this one, I think. And then the 10th letter will be an R, and that'll be this one. So the big thing that helps is that knowing of the two red letters, which one they're going to be. Like if it's every 5 attacks, then we know we can figure out the I and the R. This one's the next 4 are going to be difficult because we've got multiple choices. R here. So if that's the case, if this is an I, this still has to attack something in the grid, so it's going to be here. It's going to be a C. This is going to be hit by both this and this. So O. Yeah, I think I want this to be O. U. R. I. ERS. Nope, that got messed up. This E has to be the C here. Like, there's no doubt about that. Am I wrong about this being the 10th letter? All right, let me see what I did wrong here. This is the polarity. Like, this has to be. Oh, that was correct. So that's COURI. What am I doing wrong here? V. S. There we go. I forgot where the... There we go. was the E. All right. That's the first one, which means the actual first one is here. So this is the same polarity as the first one. So this is either T, INGSO, or Y. But Y has to be the right, has to be able to get back to this. So that's the Y. That's the T. That's the O. This connects to both this and has to be connected to both of those. So this is either S or C. And I think what I want to do is I want to try checker. Or how about checked, actually? Nope. All right. I'm going to leave it as that. I'm not going to worry about the rest of that one because I think just to sort of save time or to shortcut a little bit because I do want to actually try to solve this like I was an actual puzzle hunt solver. Like I actually know what I'm doing. All right. So earthquake shelter is going to have the H, the E, and the T. So those are our odds. That is either H or T. H or T, and then that's an E. This has to connect to here or here, so that's a K or an S, and I'm good with that. And I'm sorry, Gasper and Lord Kimboat. I'm sorry if I'm shortcutting a puzzle that you wrote. But I want to try to actually show that I know what I'm doing, because I feel like that doesn't always come through at times. This has 3, N, N, and A, and this is the right one for the N and the A. So this is also N or A. And then this is the middle one, so this is N. This has to be an odd letter. And this is going to be the F, because that's the only place where that can go. So if I'm looking at possible letters for that, I've got N, skip the N, I, L, skip the E, S, skip the, no. A is 15. Oh yeah, so that's why. So I think the possible letters are N-I-L-S-E. And I think I'm going to leave it like that as well. And we'll see what this gives us. And if that gives us enough to really figure it out, then we'll go from there. I think these are kind of fun. These are neat. I like that. I like the basic idea of these. So that is odd. So this is R or C. This is also R or C. And this is the 10th, which is T or I. T or I. This one feels like it's got a lot. It's going to be a lot more difficult to sort of isolate what it might be. We know that Batman jumps in here and here. This has to connect to these two. But if he jumps in here, then it only has to connect to one of them. We're looking for something that is an even letter in here. It's not going to be the O, though. I really want it to be checker. And I tried checker, right? this one. So the office one, the I, has to be one of these two. It's then going to go jump C and then E and then into the car. Now the one that goes into the car has to be here or down here. And the problem with this one is that it would then have to connect to either here or here, and neither of those are really going to allow that. Like, I can't get from here to here because that's missing, and I can't go from here to here because that's missing. And those, each of these have exactly two spots in common, one of which is the car. So this is not the E, this is the E. This could be the C, this could be the C. Both of those work fine. If this is the C, this is the I, then honestly we could be all over the place here. Now this, can I work jumping in? I feel like it's easier to work backwards than forwards on this. Does taking this out eliminate anything else for anything? I don't think so. Yeah, it feels like it feels really intricate. Here or here is the C. If this is not the C, then this is really restrictive. None of it really helps me figure out this one. Mark Evie, what did you end up with the question mark for this one? Trying to find a good break-in point. N. All right. I'm assuming that that is the N right after the R. Like that. Oh, the N and branch. All right. So, what am I doing wrong here? Check in, maybe? Let's try check in. There we go, check in. Probably just need to keep trying words that started with check. All right. All right, we've got 8 down. That's 3 puzzles solved. Let's go ahead and try. I might have taken more time, by the way, but I do feel like there's a certain, like, logic puzzles like that tend not to stream very well because there's not much you can do that's participatory. Dr. Langstrom's notes. Oh, this looks like Redactyl. The archives. A closet on the first floor is filled with... no, it's not, because Redactyl just came out within last month. A closet on the first floor is filled with storage crates, each with a peeling paper label. Each one bears the name of someone the police would define as of interest on a label partially obscured by the word digitized in red stamp mark. These hard copies must be redundant and not all that special, or else his henchmen would surely have cleared them out. A single sheet of paper protrudes from the top slats of the box, left off to the side like a tissue from a tissue box. Dr. Langstrom's notes. How people ever confuse Man-Bat and Batman, I'll never know. And then we've got a bunch of things here. Let's go ahead and copy this. I'm just going to call this Langstrom. And of course, we go. Widen this out. And it looks like the same amount of space for each one, which I don't think is necessarily clueful. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we have 16 things. Not to be blank, but this is the blank of day that convinced me to do this. Spent time in Enzyme Lab trying to encourage more growth of blank in engineered turtle DNA. Wouldn't react no matter how much I tried to blank with it. Synthesized something similar to a pufferfish's blank instead. Blanked the freezer with it for now, while I figure out how to dispose of it. Some accursed blank must have mislabeled my bottles. To bait fish blank indeed. About as helpful as blank toenails. The lot of them, once I'm the one blank this place, they're the first to go. So I think this is going to be Ingrid. Sorry, not Ingrid, Ingrown. This is going to be tricky, I think. There we go. And I think this is going to be owning. I want to do this all caps. And then I think what that does is it gives us an R. Because essentially, we're swapping the parts of them and then adding a letter or removing the letter. So I think these last two, for example, are going to be Ingrid and Ridding. Project Manager. And then that's probably going to be German. The film that blanked the lab will hopefully take the bait I laid. Spent rest of the day on loan to test new synthetics against plant blank for biodegradability. The firm that funded the lab created so the start of it, I think, is going to be not to be petty. Really should not just keep retyping that or switching that off. This is the type of day that convinced me to do that. Spent time in the enzyme lab trying to encourage more growth of blank in engineered turtle DNA. Wouldn't react no matter how I tried to blank with it. Want that to be tinker with it? And maybe keratin? Is keratin in turtle DNA? Keratin. There we go. And then tinker. So that's going to be a T, an A, still have a question mark there, R, A, and D. Sorry, that's incorrect because there's another question mark there. Synthesize something similar to the pufferfish's blank, instead storing it filling, using. Tila's got the pufferfish one. What do you have? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I want the next one to be Schnook and Hooks, but that doesn't quite work. To bait fish traps. I also feel like I should be able to get this from what we've got. We've got Taxer and something. Taser and something. You know that comes up with. Taxer and Spender, maybe? Let's try Spender. Incorrect. So yeah, it's probably not the right way to read that. That's my bad. All right, what else? What are we doing here? Debate. Some accursed cad, some accursed schmo. Chumps. Scoundrel. Barbs, maybe? Debate fish. I feel like it's cloning hooks, and I can't get that out of my head. Maybe I try the last one and the second one. The firm that blanked the lab will hopefully take the bait I laid. Backed the lab. Financed, funded, founded. Created. Dragon Engineers got which one was the one that you just got? Xylem. I mean, I think I want it to be an N. The bait fish one. It's not hooks, is it? Watch it be hooks. traps, nets, tanks. Dragon, what do you have? I think with this one, I'm just okay with people telling me what the last two are if they've got it. With all? Some half-wit. Oh, good lord. Oh, tax fraud. It's going to be tax fraud. That's kind of weird that the split is where it is. Yeah, you're right. That is quite a find. And then that's got to be a U there. So the answer was tax fraud. All right. Insures and resins. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Marky V. Yeah, that makes sense. A good version of this type. Like I've done the type of puzzle before where you have two basic, you have two halves, and you have to swap them around. But this is a good version of that where you get the extra letter in there. But I think what they found is probably the same thing I found with something like that, is that there aren't that many words, as many words as you think that you might get out of that. I think I probably would have had the F and the R as part of this paragraph instead of the first paragraph for a more natural break, but I think that might have been done just to make it less obvious where the how the wording was going to be parsed. But that's neither here nor there. That's personal preference, I think. All right, so let's go ahead and put that in. Tax fraud, and we can look at the meta now. Who's up for looking at the meta, and who's up for looking at the remaining three puzzles? We have another hour to go. I'm committed for committing 3 hours each time I do this. I am open to no harm in looking. Who does not absolutely does not want to look at the meta yet? Because we still have 3 more puzzles that we haven't even looked at yet. And of course, there's a good long gap in between when I ask questions and when I get feedback because of the lag on the stream. So I do apologize for the silence. I'm going to entertain myself here by drinking some more coffee. I am in trouble. I'm down to about here out of my 2 cups, which means I'm almost out of coffee, and we might have to do something about that. All right. We've got 3 puzzles here that we've not looked at. I think we're going to take a look at the 3 puzzles briefly, and if one of them looks like we might be able to knock them out relatively quick, we might try that one, and then we'll look at the Enigma machine. But let's take a look at these 3 puzzles first. Enigma's Gotham's Next Top Henchman. Five criteria. They should come from a hard Scrabble upbringing and be eager to win against all odds. They should be serious about seeking their fortune after taking stock of themselves. They should have a vibrant tone to help them stand out in Gotham's colorful milieu. They should treat their contract as a solemn avowal and keep all their thoughts in order. That's clever. All their thoughts is supervocalic and its correct order. They should trust their fellow cronies like family, but accept that they are all replaceable. 32-seated bracket. And then you've got the seeds here. All right, we're not going to go into this. It does look interesting, but what I noticed is that this has the fewest solves out of any puzzle in round 1. So that looks like it's going to be, and it looks like it's going to be super hard. Do the Batusi. Having two left feet suck. Sometimes people have flair and others just tend to flail. And this is a sort of puzzle that I think that I call these tortured question puzzles. And that's what these look like here. Not entirely sure. We'll see. Let's keep that one in mind, because I think we might end up doing that one before we, like, we'll look at the Enigma machine and then we'll come back. How about that? A sides. Oops. Oh my! I've forgotten these tunes. All I can remember is the subtext. And then we have what appears to be some sort of like list of maybe songs. And then these appear to be anagrams. And then Meta, the Enigma machine. All right. The basement. You quietly open the basement door and make your way down. This is where the Riddler's trail has sent you, but you hear nothing. You turn a corner into a large empty room. You recognize the walls from the video the Riddler sent to the police, but unfortunately Batman and Robin are nowhere to be found. In their place is a gigantic Rube Goldberg-esque contraption walled in behind plexiglass dividers. There's no way to tamper with it, and you have no idea what it will do when it's set off. All you have is a single computer keyboard mounted to the box's side and a handwritten note taped to it. With the whole of Gotham City in a panic, you imagine that the Riddler has some hidden angle that you can't figure out. What is the device's purpose? With the Bat Moron and the Boy Blender at my mercy, I've managed to turn the tables on all of Gotham. Prove your worth to me and save yourself for once. You can't pass the buck onto your caped know-it-alls anymore. If you drop the ball, something bad might happen. Toodaloo! R. Sort of going for a Frank Gershwin vibe there, but not really. It could have been worse. I could have gone for the Paul Dano vibe from the new movie. And then we've got a lovely little Rube Goldberg machine. Very lovely drawn. Very well drawn. What on earth is going on here? All right, so yeah, this is really good. So classic Rube Goldberg machine, everything leads into everything else. We've got a ball here, for example, that is going to bounce down into the U. We've got dental appliances. Let's see if we can actually trace what's going to happen here. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, and then we'll just go in bit by bit. So a ball goes down the ramp here. Very Dr. Seuss-esque, by the way. It's clearly original, but it's very Dr. Seuss-esque, and I mean that as a compliment. Ball comes down here, hits the chompers. The chompers comes down here, opens up the box flap, which knocks over the flower. The flower suddenly weighs less, so this causes this to spring forward. The box goes this way, causing this to send air up into here, making the gear spin, knocking this over into here. This lifts up the hook. The gold slides down into here and gets turned into the eye. Fills this. The more this fills, and I think all of these are meant to be seen after they've happened, but this comes up like this, knocks a book over, lands on here, which causes this to get fired, knocking the O off. That motivates the hamster to turn the wheel, which causes this to fill this, launching the egg into the target. When that happens, this smashes this, causing a telephone call, maybe? Also causing the mousetrap to go. And then this block comes along here, causes the boot to kick into the T, which moves the candle closer to here. That gets the B to set off the smoke alarm, which goes into the microphone there. Okay, so that's roughly what we've got. This is an amazing piece of artwork. Hats off, guys. I mean, this is just This is the sort of thing that always makes me feel like I need to stop working on my own and actually hire professionals to do artwork and stuff like this. Because this is the sort of meta I can't do because I can't draw like that. And amazing work by Ed. All right, so I'm gonna let's see. I'm gonna make a copy of this window. Actually, I might as well move it down here. Make it a little bit smaller so I can see chat. Come on, the window's not cooperating with me. Okay. No, I don't want to go that small. Okay, so meta puzzle. So the letters in order, I'm just going to try to go through this as best I can. K, L, V, I, F, O, C, N, H, T. Does not help to have big hands that are really clumsy. Try to get some good colors on here to match this. That's the U. C, N, and T. I'm hoping that the colors are not important. I've been sort of learning my lesson the hard way about making sure that I have friendly colors for my solvers. It's more of a yellow. Same with the I. The F is a purple. H is blue. S is V, and then these are two sort of purples, two sort of reds. All right. What are the answers we have so far? Okay. I wonder if there's a way that I can copy the image and just put it into this spreadsheet. There we go. All right. So what can we do with this? What can we do? I mean, the thing that stands out to me first is that these dentures, that looks like denture, and that is denture endure plus a T. But then we'd also need something for boxing glove. Like if we highlight, let's go through and just sort of indicate what the item is in question here. Bellow, glove. That's a boxing glove, more specifically. I can't. I think that's a hand, just simply a hand. What would you call that? Gold. That could be glove. The thing is, like, weirdly, I feel like it's almost in alphabetical order here at the first part of it. That's a pulley. What is that? A zap gun, maybe? And dirt. If anybody wants a link to the spreadsheet, please let me know. Let's see if I can shrink this a little bit. It's starting to get a little unwieldy. There we go. So we got a hammer, a telephone. Because I feel like it's the other item that's highlighted in color that's going to be important. Boot. And then what is that? A frying pan? Skillet, maybe? All right. So what can we do with this? Now we still have two. Yeah, gold bar could be. Except I think it's definitely not going to be. Sorry. High price. Which one of these would high price work with? I mean, we could almost. They almost feel like they could be what are called isomorphs, which are essentially they're words that have the same. Like pulley and pass on would work because they have those same letters in common. Same letter pattern in common. Oh, I like ingot. Could also be smelter, because that's technically what's going on there is a smelting. Yeah, because there's no F in pulley. But it's also what's worth noting is that it's not so much just the pulley, it's the arrow is there too. It's the only one where the arrow is also covered. So that might be representing raise or lift. Oh, same with the ball. The ball has the arrow highlighted as well. I think it might not be a bad idea to go back and check, at least do one more puzzle. Yeah, it could be jump. True. Wonder if they're the sound effects from the Batman series. Like, I don't think there's a canonical. I don't know if there's a canonical set, but I mean, that is one thing that the Batman series is famous for are those kapow, sound effects. I'm just not even sure. Oh, every Batman fight scene onomatopoeia in one alphabetical GIF from fastcompany.com. I don't know if this is really going to help, but let's see. We've got, this is a lot of them too. Yeah, that's not going to be as helpful as I thought. It is a list of 87 different onomatopoeic sounds. So I'm going to assume that is not, in fact, where we go with that. But I like the idea that it's punch versus slap. So if that's the case, then we've got what? We've got jump. Jump, bite, blow, punch, slap, melt, lift, zap, fill, I guess target, wring, kick, fry. Oh wait, break. I think that's going to be break. Because it's specifically a mallet and a box that has a wine glass on it. Having said that, though, canonical is such a wonderful thing. Well, I mean, if that's the case, if what Dragon Engineer is suggesting is correct, then it might be like break the ice, raise the curtain, bite the bullet, kick the can. Feels very. I don't know. I'm not overly happy with that. That is the case. Jump the gun. Tax fraud, I could see being cook the books. That would work. And it does start with a T. Okay, so let's say that that is it. Let's say cook the books, but it's tax fraud. Kick the can might be pass on. So if it's okay, so slow down for a moment, okay? Jump the gun, haste, and then U is the second letter of gun, so maybe A. Bite the bullet is endure, and E is the fifth letter, so R. Blow the whistle for deep throat. Um, I see. Then we'd have to want to have a K in there, wouldn't we? Punch or box. Slap. Shoot the messenger might be something. Is blow the blow is the L and punch is the K. Sorry. So if that's the case, blow the whistle, then we're looking at the sixth letter, so that would be H. It's not looking good. But then that would be haste and deep throat. Cook the books would be the first one, so that would be a T. I want embellish to be gild the lily. Which, I mean, I think that's what's going on there. I think that's gilding. And this is starting to look like Arkham something. Except the H is in the wrong spot. Which makes me wonder if I have punch, if this punch and... Yeah, I have punch and blow in the wrong order. Sorry, folks. Punch the clock, maybe? Kick the can is definitely going to be... pass on, but I don't think that's the... What do I have here? Kick the T. Kick the bucket. Yeah, that would be perish. Just gonna write bucket in there. We don't have perish in here, but ring the, or call the, break the ice, break the bank. Break the bank might be high price. Oh, pass on, kick the bucket. Yeah, that would make sense. That's an N then. Arkham something. Arkham tangent. Arkham... Gild the Lily we've got. Amends. Punch the clock. Raise the roof, probably. Shoot the moon. Bury the hatchet. Just as I looked down there, just as I saw dragons. What's weird is, I mean, those are two phones, right? Yeah, I mean, it wants to be an E. I mean, there's no way that that's not an E of some sort. I want it to be Arkham Tangent, but I don't think that that's going to be correct. Oh, whoa, hello. That was it. Okay, so raise the roof is probably going to be party. Oh, I like that. Call the shots. I like that for lead. Shoot the moon. Want that to be an A somewhere in there. I saw punch the clock for check-in, so that works. Let's see. How much you want to bet the henchman one is lead? Nope. All right. Same with delegate. Okay. We're not gonna do a lot of back solving or anything like that. But that is that was the answer. It was one of these should be party. Do the Batusi. A sides. Oh well. Oh, and there was one that we skipped. That was Ain't by Numbers. All right, nonetheless. And I'm guessing that that is a play on arctangent. I was trying to figure out what the pun there is. But arctangent. Break the bank, I think I already had. Hidden angle that you can't figure out. Oh, yeah, nice. Very, very clever. Yeah, that was, the graphic on that was just amazing. And I like the way that that worked, that you had to imply the motion, not so much the object. And thank you for Jangler for pointing that out. And thank you for everyone's help, Marky V and Dragon and Aquila and Romacron for helping me get through the parts that I couldn't quite see. But Arkham Tangent. All right. So it is 12:29. We are now into round 2. We could go back and try to finish these ones. But I'd kind of like to keep going because there's a lot to get through. This is now set up so that this will correctly tell us how many... let me just make sure that this is an actual formula. It's an actual formula. Yay. I forget... Oh yeah, that's just to indicate that we have solved this one. All right, so we've got these 4 to start with. Let's go ahead and try one of them. Bring this back up on screen. And we might as well start with secret sauce. Polly's Diner. The words Condiment King and really are still buzzing in your head as you arrive at the diner, which to your utter shock is actually still clean. Normally when Condiment King is involved, no surface is safe from his mustard gun. Short order cook meets you at the door. He storms the kitchen, marches me out at gunpoint, and barricades the door. Says he won't leave or give up our house burger sauce until you give him some code, and anyone who peeps in the kitchen window gets pepper sprayed. No rush though, I get overtime for costume capers. All right. Condiment King stares at you. Sorry, he says, this text is just for flavor. And then we get a bunch of interesting things here. You've never heard of Condiment King? I feel like Condiment King is the sort of joke. All right. It's sort of the joke condiment. He's also in the Harley Quinn series. But he's the joke. He's like next to Polka Dot Man in terms of being a joke villain in the DC universe. And DC universe has a lot of joke characters. All right, but we've got a bunch of things here. So let's take a look at what we've got going on. So we've got Arizona, Arkansas, and Maryland. And it looks like for Arkansas and Arizona, it's the second letter is now has a D's been added after the first letter. And in Maryland, it's the second. But I think what this is basically after the first A. So we're going to add an A after a D after the first A. And then presumably we're getting some sort of like flavor or sauce. So state that has an A in it that you can add a D to get a sauce. If you know, don't shout it out. Give me a moment to think through of all the different lovely states there are as I go through, and it's not Alabama or Tennessee, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New Mexico, Delaware, Alaska or Hawaii. I think the other thing that strikes me is that some of these other ones don't feel like that they would work the same way. Like this one right here has a T taken out of the element placed on top of the Y. So this is like Tony. Tony element. T on Y. Like, if we keep going down, I'm going to go down the left-hand column and then do the other column. Cordoba, Krona, and Zloty are all O's. So flaming O's? That feels like a thing. Hemsworth, Grim, Marks, Flaming O's, okay. Jacobin, Robin, be a babbler, I think, but that replaces a muff, a B with a muff. B is muff. Bismuth. We've got some Stephen King's novels with M black on one side, E black on the other. Okay, over here we've got the Garfield, the Cleveland, and the Roosevelt. So those are all presidents minus EL. Joy to the World, O Tannenbaum, Silent Night, and then an IX just simply put on the end. What is if nipple lips, but one of the letters is upside down? The P is upside down in some of these. I don't even know what to make this one. This is Techok. Depidepstrit. Nobel Prize. Dependent Spirit. Teen Choice. Those are like Nirvana things, I think. Minus the NI, so I would just give you Irva. And then we've got some. This is Colorado. So I have to think that what's happening here is that each of these is giving us the category of another. So, like this coriander, avocado, and radicchio, right? These are all whatever these are. These are foods. But if you look at what it's indicating, then that indicates Colorado, and that's a state. And then this is going to be D after A, D after first A. So I think that's what's going on. Does that make sense? Not that that gets me any further. So one of these should give us a Stephen King story. One of these should give us a Christmas Carol. One of these should give us a president, and so on. And one of these should be a bird of some sort. So Jacobin, Robin, and Babbler are probably birds. Okay, so let's start with that. Let's start with Flaming O's. Let's try to do this actually a little bit more intelligently. So, states, Gershwin, Wagner, and those are composers. awards. Food. Currency. Those are awards. Teen Choice Awards, Independent Spirit Awards, and so on. Hemsworth, Grimm, and Marks. I have no idea who those are. Grimm is obviously Ben. Could be Grimm Ben Grimm. This lips, hip, nipple, and lips. Okay, those are body parts. Oh, brothers. Yeah, brothers Grimm, Brooks brothers, and so on. Got it. Okay. Thank you. Birds. Carols. King books. Not kind books. King books. There we go. And then presidents. Okay. All right. Now the currency one had flaming O's. And that is a 7. So that would be a G. But then we want to go to the birds. And the birds was bismuth, which is an element. And that was the letter 7. So I'm going to go to H. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a GH up here. Nope. Elements. There we go. So elements was T on Y, so that's Tony, which is a type of award. Sorry if everyone's going to get a whiplash on this, by the way. And that makes sense because that's GHT. So awards, we also know that the food is Colorado, so we can put that in. But the awards are NI. If you have one, do me a favor. Just type in G in the chat that you've got one. I appreciate that, Dragon. Okay, so Independent Spirit, Terps, Teen Choice, Onion, maybe. Nixon. It's Nixon. Nix O-N. That's going to give me an N because that is the 5th letter. And fortunately, since we already have that one, we can go straight down to the first Noel. And that is 12. So that'll be the L. Suddenly not looking good. Oh yeah, that'd be true. Okay, never mind. That's out. Which is probably for the best because that wasn't looking good. All right. So what is this one? NI. It's not states, because that's going to be Colorado. Could be composers. All right, let me try some of the other ones. Let's see. The P. The P and I technically are getting reversed. It's like they're getting rotated. Spinip. Turnip. Food. It's a 6, so that's going to be a P. Colorado. I suppose I should put the Colorado one in there. That is a 6. States. Is dinar. That is a currency. That's 5 and R. So that'll give us the letter before the birds, which I'm a little concerned about because that's not quite right. Could still be right. Maybe I'm just wrong on that. So state was Colorado. That's an AR. It's A before that. Food was P. Almost looks like it wants to be spaghetti. Let's see what was before. Body part is a different one. We haven't figured out yet. All right. What do we have left? We've got W to end. No I or N. M is, that is magenta. Add IX. Black M, black E. All right. And then the ones that we still need are the composers. I feel like I should be able to get the got that. We don't have the brothers, so probably Ringling is another common one. Smothers. Body part I don't have. King books. All right. Was there anything else about the Carols one that I need to take into account? Joy to the World, IX. O Tannenbaum, IX. Silent Night, IX. Appendix. 3, that's a P. That's the body parts. Put a P there. Working backwards, we still need a president, don't we? Yeah, we need a president still. Still really like Nixon, though. Marky V got awards. I should probably ask at this point, since people have been patiently watching me look at this and just going, doy. Potential spam. Thank you. Chop IN, that makes sense. was what? That was 5. That was composers. So that'll go after here. I'm wondering if it's actually going the other direction. ITHGRAP. I don't know, I feel like I've done something wrong with the sequencing here. Okay, so composers has W at the end of it. It's moved all of them to the end. I should really just put in the other numbers here. King Books is 8. Composers is 1. Phil M or E. King Books is Fillmore. Alright, so we got the president one. We got the composers. Brothers and King Books. W to end. Who are some famous brothers other than the ones that were mentioned? Helmsworth brothers, Grimm brothers, Mark brothers, Smothers brothers, Ringling brothers, brothers Karamazov, Baldwin brothers. Arquette brother. It's not really Arquette brothers. It's in the King Book, I feel like I should be able to get. Like, the King Book is clearly whatever the M is, because it has to be like that. I'm gonna try something here. How about, oh, Wright brothers. Wright brothers. W on the right. So that's going to be King Books. All right, so let's just put this in order. Let's start with brothers, King Books, presidents, carols, body parts, food, states, currency, elements, and awards. I feel like I skipped a letter, skipped a number there. I did, but it's okay. Grapple with, or grappled with, probably. Rose Madder. Rose M. Adder is the King Book. There we go. I'm going to actually put this in the right order, because otherwise it's going to bug me. Very nice puzzle. All right. Really like that one. It is 12:54. It is time for me to sign off. We've been going for almost 3 hours. But I think we actually we got obviously quite a bit of distance. We made quite a bit of progress. Thank you everybody for your help, especially on the meta and on this one. I will be back again next week on Wednesday. I will be doing an earlier stream. Today was a little bit later because I had the doctors to deal with. I'm really enjoying these. These are really nice. I like that one. I think that was very clever the way that it was set up. I think it broke open really nicely. It was a good sort of like, what the hell is going on here? Oh, that's what the hell is going on here. Okay, so let's figure out what's going on. It felt like a good, clean thing. One of the things that's always a struggle is any sort of chain order puzzles, and I'm not against them. I actually really enjoy chain order puzzles. I think that they are a great way to sort of mix up the ordering. I have one more compliment, and it's going to be very minor, but it's an important compliment. But I really like chain order puzzles. They are very difficult from a solver's perspective because you don't know where you're starting and what direction you're going in. So it does delay sort of like the jump to the end of the puzzle thing. So you do have to sort of get through more of the puzzle. But that was pretty damn good. And thank you, whoever remembered to do the apostrophe in front of till in the correct direction. You have no idea how much it drives me nuts when I see somebody do a question mark or an apostrophe like that. That's curved the wrong way. Like if you see like it just drives me nuts. There's a correct direction for apostrophes, and most people don't get it, but you guys did. So thank you for that. Thank you very much. Anyway, with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you, everybody, and I'll see you Friday when we'll be doing a listener cryptic. Ciao. Oh, let's go raid somebody. Who wants to raid somebody? Should raid somebody. Is there anybody? There's nobody I know who's currently streaming. Normally, I would say let's go raid Dan, but Dan is not currently streaming right now. So that's a bummer. Normally Dan would be in the middle of his stream. Like I wouldn't even be. Yeah, there's two of us streaming right now, and that includes me. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and sign out. Thanks for dropping by, Gasper, and thank you for dropping by, Lord Kimbote, however you pronounce it. And we'll see you next week or Friday maybe. Ciao.